And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel. Today we're taking a look at a game called Chameleon. Still Chameleon. The game is hiding underneath its own cover. Chameleon is actually a reprint from the Big Potato Games, which is essentially a reprint of a game called Gooseberry. You might have seen my review of Gooseberry last year, right after Essen. Although most people did not watch that review because the name just sounds weird. Gooseberry. Well, this is a more robust version of Gooseberry. It is still the same great game designed by the designer who did Coup. So I really think it's a fantastic, fun party game. Let me show you how it plays. So in this game, you're going to have a pile of topic cards, and each topic card is going to have various things that are similar on it. So for example, here we have food. So you can see there's different kinds of foods. You're going to take a pile of blue cards or a pile of green cards and give these to each player. Most of the cards are going to have a grid on them, but one will say, "You are the chameleon." Everybody else will have a grid like this. The grids are different on greens and blues, so you can mix them up in case you think people are starting to remember things. You're going to roll dice, 5 and 3 for example here. So 5, 3 is A3. A3 on here is eggs. Now each person is going to think of a one-word clue for eggs. But you don't want it to be too obvious here. And the reason you don't want it to be obvious is because the person who has chameleon has no idea what the clue is. However, they can see all the words, so they have a 1 out of 16th chance of knowing what it is. So once everyone is ready to say a clue, you go around the table and each person says a clue, one after another. So one person might say boiled, and the next person might say yellow, and the next person might say whatever. You just go around the table. When it comes to the chameleon's turn, they're going to pick a clue. So if I was the chameleon, I might sit there and go delicious for my clue, because I don't know, and I know several of these things are delicious. And so after everyone's given a clue, then players are going to try to figure out which person they think is the chameleon. They're all going to point fingers at the same time. If they're correct, the chameleon is going to reveal their card. Well, they reveal your card no matter what. If you're not the chameleon wins automatically. If you are the chameleon, then the chameleon has one chance to guess the word. If they do guess what the word is, so they say eggs, then they win anyway. So the only way for everyone else to win is if they catch the chameleon and that chameleon guesses wrong. Otherwise, the chameleon wins. And so there's lots of different categories. You can bring in, you got civilizations, we have jobs, we have fictional characters, musicals, bands, drinks, school, tattoos, all sorts of things. And in fact, if there's not enough cards for you in the game of categories, then you can write your own category on this board here, where you had to have an erasable marker. So here we picked, oh, did I say boring movies? Sorry, let me rephrase that. Overrated movies. So you have that category and you write them down and you can just play with that, which gives you a whole lot of extra things. You get points on whether or not you have a certain number of chameleons, although most people are probably going to play without the point system, and you just play each round as its own game. The game is set for 4 to 6 players. However, with 3, the chameleon can guess twice, and 7 to 8, you can turn the topic card over so the chameleon can't see it while playing. That's how you play Chameleon. Now you'll see in here that there's some similarities to other games. We have one-word clues, which is similar to password or code names. We have the trying to figure out who doesn't know what they're talking about, which is very similar to Spyfall. In fact, someone asked me, are you going to keep this and Spyfall? Does this replace Spyfall? No, not really, because they're different games. Spyfall has that silly where are you location. This one here, you have clues in front of you with words, but I really enjoy this. This is a game that I consistently keep playing over and over again because I find the concept of it really intriguing, as everyone knows the word except one person. And so you are trying to give clues that let everyone else know, hey, I know what that word is. But the problem is everyone's clues are going to work together to help the Chameleon to guess the word. And so you'll find that the game has kind of a meta arc to it. At the beginning of games with new players, you'll find that the Chameleon's able to guess the word because people give clues that are too easy. So then people try to get more esoteric and strange with their clue giving, which makes it harder for the Chameleon and also makes it harder for everyone else because they have no idea who the Chameleon is, since some people's clues just don't seem to make sense at all. And I like that. Then the clues start getting a little easier because people realize they went too hard. And so playing multiples of this, and again, I mentioned the scoring and the scoring, whatever. You just keep playing game after. We just treat each one as its own game, just like we do with Spyfall. Is there room in the collection for both? Well, for me, there is. I'm going to hang on to this game. I really do enjoy it. If there's anything I don't like about it, I wish the cards were better quality, especially the blue and green cards that you hand out to players. They have those straight corners. And in a game where you're handing out cards that many times, and one of them is secretly you are the Chameleon, it would be very helpful to have those cards better quality. I like to put them in sleeves, but they're a very odd size, so we're going to have to wait and see if I can pull that off. But despite that, I enjoy it. I think there's a lot of different topic cards in here. Each topic card could last for several games because you can just keep doing the same thing. There's 16 words in a card. But if that doesn't work, then you have the opportunity to write down any card you want. Loads of fun, works especially well with many players. I like this. The 6-player, 7-player game of this works really well as you go around table, but also can work with the smaller groups, although it's a lot easier to catch that Chameleon at that point, unless you're really clever and interesting and unique. Really funny moments happen in this game. Again, highly recommend it. Chameleon. Blend in. Dice Tower Judgment. Excellent.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.